let's do it. Quit touching my phone. Come on, quit touching my phone. Who's your supervisor? Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
It's been more than a year and a half that I was in final trial for custody of Christopher. And my appeal today is set for submission. So I want you to watch this video, and then we're going to talk about my appeal and what happened in this video, and we'll go from there.
Y'all are on Facebook. You're not gonna sue nobody. You're not gonna sue nothing. Hey, quit touching me. He pushed you out?
No.
Did he push you out?
No, you pushed me up. I said, I can walk. Yeah. I'm on the lock. Go ahead. Don't do the first one to the left.
They're having a hearing. I told them that they didn't have jurisdiction. They said that the administrative judge sent them a notice for a tertiary. The law says it's singular, and they're just doing whatever they want. So they're having a hearing. Quit touching my phone.
Get out. Get out of here.
Or what? My phone. Quit my phone.
Do it.
No. What are you going to arrest me for? Come on. Let's do it. Quit touching my phone. Come on. Quit touching my phone. Who's your supervisor? Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
Now you just assaulted police.
No, I didn't. I didn't assault nobody. Get off me. Get off me.
You just put your hands on me, man.
Get off me. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
I will. After you.
Let it go. I didn't even do nothing. Did y'all see me doing it? Now they're trying to get my phone. Somebody come get it.
So this video is of Deputy Stephen Alderete out of the 309th District Court in Harris County. Judge Linda Dunson, who's up for re-election. You see us walking out of the courtroom. Why am I recording? It's against the law to record. The judge says no. There's a big old sign out on the court door that says no recording. You should go to jail. Those are all comments I heard after this video was posted. And I kind of want to talk about that. One, there's no Texas penal code. There's no criminal law that says you can't record in a courtroom. What it does say, you can't disturb. But obviously, we didn't see me disturbing. We saw me walking out at the beginning of the video. The whole thing was recorded. Stephen Alderete, the bailiff, is going around telling people that I'm putting snippets of the video online, and it's not a true reflection of the things that happened that day. Stephen Alderete, you're a fucking liar, and you know it. You're a piece of shit who made my case worse. See, from what I'm hearing, Stephen Alderete is still the bailiff of the 309th. There was nothing, he wasn't admonished, he wasn't punished, nothing. Which means he's gonna put his hands on other people. See, when you watch the video, Stephen Alderete says you're under arrest. Just coming out. But what you didn't see was that in the courtroom, Stephen Alderete, the bailiff, he was already ready to throw me in jail. Stephen Alderete was already ready to throw me in jail. He stood in front of me while I was litigating and tried to intimidate me. Now, the judge didn't stop him, and she has the ultimate authority to run her courtroom. So allowing her bailiff to intimidate me while I'm litigating, telling me I'm here for you, and then him threatening to arrest me before I even tapped him on his shoulder.
What are you gonna arrest me for? Come on, let's do it. Quit touching my phone.
Stephen Alderete hadn't seen his son. He even yelled at us and said that we had to deal with it.
Tell me.
When I got divorced, my ex-wife left the country for 12 years.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen my son in 12 years.
Guess what?
So guess what? Go ahead, leave the door. Because I still got to do what I got to do. No, you shut the hell up and get out of my face. Don't be like
Please,
that.
don't disrespect my
Well,
son.
you disrespect me.
No, no.
I said I have no girl. I said I have no
Think you wear that.
Stephen, you don't want to see your son, you don't want to see your child, that's up to you. I don't care. I love my kids. But what you did, you put your hands on me when you shouldn't have. And that's a big no-no. Not only did you violate Harris County policy, you also violated the law, and you violated me by putting your hands on me. Stephen Alderete, the bailiff, is a hothead. He violated Harris County policy. I sent it to Internal Affairs. This video, I sent a criminal complaint that met the requisites of the Code of Criminal Procedure, Chapter 15. And guess what the Harris County Sheriff's Internal Affairs captain did? Just, hey, you assaulted this police officer. Nobody wanted to de-escalate the situation. With my mom being there, wanting to report, you know, the issues from before and what she had just saw, nobody sat down to take a statement. So she thought that since they didn't want to do that, she filed her own criminal complaint on Stephen Alderete as well for touching her when she didn't want to be touched or pushed out of the courtroom.
What happened with that complaint?
Again, we filed it all together. It should be in there with my criminal complaint.
Oh, you mean with us?
Yes, sir.
With us and IAD?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I did not realize that.
Yes, sir. Not only that, but a criminal complaint and a grievance are separately two different things. But due to the non-compliance of the supervisors wanting to talk to us, wanting to hear our issues there about the bailiff in the courthouse, everyone kept directing us to at Internal Affairs. They wouldn't take a criminal complaint there. They wouldn't interview us. So I felt like I had to send my criminal complaint through IA because I was doing as directed by your deputies.
Well, I do have the paperwork here on my desk. It's under a pile, I'll be honest with you. You know.
Yes, sir.
And so, sorry it's taken me a while to get to it, but I have not forgotten about you.
Put the criminal complaint in a stack of papers. Where does a criminal complaint go, Harris County Sheriff's Department Internal Affairs captain? How did you become a captain at Internal Affairs and not know where a criminal complaint that meets the requisites of Texas goes? So while Stephen Alderete doesn't do anything to see his children, he just interfered with my legal right to see my children and have a fair trial. And guess what? Judge Linda Dunson, who's up for re-election, she didn't stop him. This whole thing stinks like shit. And you know why? Because 17 days prior to that hearing, I had filed a recusal with the administrative judge, Susan Brown. Now, Susan Brown, the administrative judge, didn't recuse. She didn't do anything at that time that video was taken. In my recusal, I specifically stated in 2 of my bullet points that the bailiffs were getting handsy on us, they were intimidating us, they were pushing people out, and that's everything you saw in that video. Now, going back to, is it illegal to record? I'm trying to protect myself, and for transcript integrity, I recorded. I recorded because I'm tired of these bailiffs putting their hands on litigants. It's happened to me, it's happened to multiple people. Multiple people are coming into our public courtrooms, and these bailiffs think that they have unlimited legal authority to push us out of our own courtroom. It's unacceptable. So let's get to the juicy part. My appeal wasn't appealed because of the merits of my case. Actually, not every negative is a negative. This negative turns into a huge positive for me because it let me go through a whole full trial, and I was able to obtain things like the transcripts that I can use on my next proceeding. Stephen Alderete arrested me for assault on a peace officer with bodily injury.
Watch what the bailiff, a Harris County Sheriff's deputy, did first.
Quit touching my phone.
Get out. Get out. Get out of here.
Or what? My phone. To my phone.
Do it.
No.
And then see how a simple tap on the back to get his attention provokes criminal charges for Saldana.
Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
Now you just assaulted police.
No, I didn't. I didn't assault nobody. Get off me.
The probable cause document says Saldana pushed the bailiff in the back, causing pain.
Are you kidding?
I want you to look closely at that moment again. The deputy is ignoring Saldana's request for a supervisor.
Who's your supervisor? Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor.
Is that assault of a police officer?
No way.
The bond was set at $30,000, then reduced to $15,000. The judge wants to test Saldana for mental illness. He's been put under 24-hour curfew. This is a father who hasn't been allowed to see his son for over 2 years. He may be the biggest pain in the ass of judges in Harris County, although I try to compete. Whether they like him or not, a lot of his complaints about the family court system in this state are spot on.
Wayne Del Trofino, a investigative reporter there in the Harris County area, aired the story, and it's bullshit what these people are doing to people that are litigating in a civil court. I'm not a criminal, but now you've treated me like one. Asked for your supervisor, and instead of getting your supervisor, you went ahead and arrested me. In that arrest, I had to go to jail. I was in jail for 4 days because of that, with an extremely high bond. So I couldn't get out. Not only could I not get out, I didn't want to get out because I knew it was going to help me, because I knew what they did was wrong. So the magistrate, when I get thrown in jail, tells me there's an order of protection out of the 309. They told me not to return to the 309. There was an order not to go to the 309th District Court from the magistrate of Harris County. And guess what 309th Linda Dunson did? She bench warrant me from the Harris County jail back to her court. And guess what? I had an entourage. I had 6 bailiffs escort me from the jail all the way into her courtroom. Surrounded me during the whole trial. I was shackled. I was in orange. And guess who was there? Stephen Alderete, the guy who made the criminal complaint on me for assault with bodily injury. Now, if that's not a due process issue, I don't know what is. I had no attorney. Anything said could and be used against me. I was forced to go to final trial in shackles in orange with the man that said I assaulted him. Fast forward, the assault was dismissed less than a month later. Why? Because it was recorded. Because everything that Stephen Alderete said that I had done wasn't true. Stephen Alderete, you're a piece of shit. Let me tell you. You don't want to see your kids, but you interfered with me seeing my kids. This should be a true reflection. I don't care if you get in trouble. You're a fucking turd. Other than that, the attorney that's in this case, opposing counsel, Carolyn Cook Robertson, videoed this. She even used it in my court proceeding. Mr. Saldana was unruly outside, and that's why he got arrested. Using an arrest that I haven't even been convicted of outside the courtroom. Again, there's no law that says you can't record. Can you record to protect yourself? Absolutely. Are you in a public place? Absolutely. Do they mess up on the transcripts? Absolutely. That's why I recorded. That's my reasoning for recording. We should have more recordings of judicial proceedings. All in all, my case is now finally going to an appeal. Stephen Alderete tried to interfere. Carolyn Robertson is the same attorney in the Starry case that went all the way to the Supreme Court. These attorneys know how to use bailiffs, how to use court officers in order to help them gain the advantage in the trial courts. Carolyn Cook Robertson, the attorney, the opposing counsel, has a history of doing these dirty legal tactics, including using law enforcement to get the respondent or the other person and talk to Starry. Starry said the same thing. Carolyn Cook Robertson showed up at her house, got law enforcement to arrest her. These are tactics that they're using in family courts. And you need to start educating yourself on what the rules and the laws are. You might not agree that I videoed, but I video record for my protection. I video record for my protection and for public education. This is of public interest. So those that are following me, that are in Harris County, do not reelect Linda Dunson. She did nothing. She didn't uphold the law, nothing. But hey, it's Harris County, right? Today's gonna be a weird day for me, but I had to let it out. I had to let Stephen Alderete know he's a piece of shit, because he interfered with my fair trial. Not only was it, Carolyn Robertson didn't even give me notice of fair trial. She gave me notice for an enforcement hearing, but they pushed me into trial. They wanted me to go to trial. Why? Because I had a jury demand on file and they didn't want to wait 30 days. And so they wanted to push me into trial, skipping over the civil rules of 21A. We'll just email him and let him know when final trial is. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You still need to file it in through the e-file system. I think there's a Supreme Court directive that every attorney must use the e-file system. So Carolyn Robertson, there was no order setting hearing for final trial on file. Alderete throws me in jail for tapping on his shoulder outside the courtroom. But remember, he did say he was going to arrest me before I even tapped his shoulder. He did stand in front of me while I was litigating in front of the judge, telling her that there was a recusal on file. There was a recusal on file that had not been ruled on, that had expressed concerns about the bailiffs, their unwanted hand touching, their intimidation tactics. Yeah. Bailiffs just do not have unbridled authority to push you out, to put hands on you. You are a member of the public. You can sit in that courtroom till 5 p.m., till whenever the court closes its doors for the day. You have that constitutional right. And now, I think everyone has a constitutional right to protect themselves from bailiffs that put their hands on them unwantedly. I think people have a right to record for transcript integrity. I believe people have the right to record to protect themselves from tyranny. I woke up, made me a cup of coffee, came to sit outside on this fresh day just to make this video about Harris County Sheriff Stephen Alderete, the Harris County Sheriff's Department, for failing to protect the public in our own courtrooms. They won't send supervisors out. Precinct 1 won't hold the Sheriff's Department accountable. And so now people like me are getting arrested when we see forms of intimidation, when we see unwanted touching by the Harris County Sheriff's Department. We are being retaliated and sent to jail for litigating for our children. Not only is it unacceptable, but it cost me more than a year and a half to send this thing to an appeal. If you see at the end, they tackle me. There's 5 of them coming after me. It was already said they were going to arrest me. They wanted to arrest me, not because I had broken the law. They were looking for anything to shut me up, to put me down. I tapped him on his shoulder to call his supervisor because these bailiffs are putting their hands and pushing people out of the courtroom. They're pushing me, they're pushing my mom, they're pushing other court observers that come to observe the court. Doesn't work that way. And if I need to fight that, I will. Stephen Alderete, I'm not done with you. I am not done with you. If I have to go federal, I'll go federal. A lot of people didn't think I was going to be able to appeal. I wasn't going to be smart enough. But I put my nose in a book. I read the laws. I read the civil rules, the appellate rules. I read all of those so I could effectively try to save my trial. And again, I'm sorry, Stephen, you haven't seen your child. Maybe you should put more effort into seeing your child than assaulting me in my own courtroom.